Okay, in our next step, we were doing more with the bass line in measure 1. So we took a quick look at it, and this is where we had ended up. We had our E flat major 7th chord to our F minor 7th chord. We don't have a lot of notes in there right now, but we're going to add a few in a moment. What we did in this next step was we took a look at that, and then we went down and added a few more notes. And we went in and we actually added a G flat in our second beat as a nice step into the F. And then we went up another minor third, and then started walking down through our second measure as we went on through here. That got us to a fairly decent bass line that went through all three measures. And let's move on to our next one and take a little bit better, closer look at what we're going to do to add in more notes as we got on down further. So we took another look and we added a few notes, and we take a look at this just as first measure right at the moment. And here we have our E flat. We had that big E flat 7 with these two notes, and we just added a third and a 5th. Really rounded out that note. That's what we hiked about at first, and then in the second measure, or the second line down here, we started adding additional notes. So we went from that E flat, and we had that G flat, so we decided to go ahead and try that G flat 7 chord. And that's what we added in. It's a 13th because of the E flat on top. We added a 5th into our 7th, added a 3rd and a 5th to our A flat chord, and then came on down to a G minor 7, so we added our minor 3rd and our 5th here. We had these C notes already, but we decided to add the 3rd in here at the minor 3rd at the F minor 9. So let's kind of run through those quickly to see what they sound like. We can put all the notes together and see how we've done so far. Really filling out the sound at this point by adding in some of the chord notes. Let's go ahead and move on down and take another look at some additional chords that we've added in section 3. And I'm going to stop here for a minute and be right back. Okay, we just finished off with those first two measures and doing the bass line. Now I'm going to do the second line, and we're going to go in and take a closer look at what we filled in here, especially around the third measure. First off, we can see in the E flat major 7th where we filled in our two notes and we get that nice big sound. Then we moved it, instead of going back into that E flat again, we decided to drop into our B flat here. And we did that by taking a half step through B7, flat 9. And it sounds a little bit like this. And of course we moved on in and went right back to our E flat. And then down into the A flat 7, major 7th. So looking at these measures in measures 3 and 4, and looking at that bass line again where we filled in out the chord notes. E flat major 7, B flat 7 flat 9. I meant to say B7 flat 9 into a B flat minor 7, back to the E flat 7, back to our A flat major 7th. So now we've filled in all the bass lines, and we can take a look here at our bottom line, and we'll look at where we've done all of those, and we'll go ahead and play through all of those bass notes, or bass chords. We can go ahead and add the melody in with that and see what that sounds like. That really filled out nicely and gave us a great, great, big, beautiful volume of sound there, a full sound with that one. We can go ahead and move on and look at our page 4. And we'll readjust here and get right back up to the top. Okay, from this point on, we were taking a look at what to do with the melody line and how we filled in notes in underneath the melody line that was part of our chord structure. Of course, we started off with the E flat major 7, right where it was, but you looked at the G flat 7 that we had, we added in a B flat. Then we added the F7, a minor flat, an A flat, and then we went on to a G flat and made our way back to the F. So we have that melody line of added some nice little notes into that. So we can look at just that measure on this first top one here. We'll just go right across. And adds just even that much more fullness to our whole song. We'll go ahead and look at both measures 1 and 2 next. We added that secondary line. We even went ahead in our next step and took the line that we just added and added even more to it. And this was really challenging your ear, trying to see how much more we could put in there. And some of you like this and some of you won't. There'll probably be too much for some. Others will think that that's really probably pretty cool. I think that even adds a lot of real richness. You can see all we did was came in and added another set of notes that were within the chord structure, and through our red notes here, it was just enough to add a little bit more to it and give it a little bit more contrast. We'll move on down and finish this off with our measures 3 and 4. In this case, we were looking at coming in, and we talked a lot about how I had the D flat here in the E flat chord, and we were starting out here with the E flat, so I decided to try and stick around those D's and see what I could add in to get over to our final A flat here. And it was a couple of different experiments we did along the way to make that work. But essentially what I ended up doing was coming in there with that D, jumped up to the D sharp, came back down to a D, to a D flat, into a C. So essentially I was able to go up a half step and then just walk down the chromatic scale. And then in the process I found 2 extra spots where I added some extra notes, and where we added a 9th in here at the B flat, and we also added in another 9th over here at the A flat with the B flat we added in. So we can take a quick listen to that part and see what that sounds like. Really a pretty nice richness in that whole sound. And the reason we used, what made it nice is we had this D sharp over here with our B chord, which fits nicely in that major chord. So it all kind of fit very well together. But it's a matter of knowing this theory and knowing these chords so that you can put these notes in where they are appropriate. Now, we got the final line here, and we'll just play through those last final 4 chords, and then I'll move on and show you the full 8 measures of this first stanza that I've arranged for the end of this posting. Here we go. I think it's given a really nice, rich volume of sound, which is quite a contrast from where we started to where we ended.